Welcome to the Procurement Professional channel. This is Ashraf Salah, who will explain the CIPS L4 methodology. We are still explaining the first book of L4M1. L4M1, Scope of Influence of Procurement and Supply. In the previous lectures, we finished explaining 1.1, Compare the concepts of procurement and supply chain management. Today we will move to the second topic of the first chapter. 1.2, Analyze the different sources of added value in procurement and supply. The second topic consists of 5 points. The first point, 1.2.1, the 5 rights of procurement. The second point, 1.2.2, defining total life cycle costs or whole life asset management. The third point, 1.2.3, achieving 5 rights of procurement from external suppliers. The fourth point, 1.2.4, other sources of added value, innovation, sustainability, and market development. The fifth point, 1.2.5, defining value for money. As previously mentioned, the explanation will be in 2 ways. The first method is through a practical example through which the points are clarified. The second way is by addressing what is included in the book. Let's start together with the first topic. 1.2.1, the 5 rights of procurement. The 5 procurement rights under the CIPS methodology are as follows: the right quantity, the right quality, the right time, the right price, the right place. Suppose that you are currently working in a company that supplies plumbing materials, and that there's a customer who asked your company to supply some of these materials. Required supply of plumbing pipes plus accessories. From the purchase request, it becomes clear what are the 5 rights of procurement. The first point is the right quantity. The purchase order must include the appropriate quantity specified by the customer based on his business requirements. From here, you must fully meet the required quantity for the customer so that he can carry out the work required of him. Any error that occurs in meeting the quantity required in the purchase order will result in consequences that may hinder the customer's business. In the event that the quantity supplied is less than the quantity required in the purchase order, this will lead to the disruption of work for the customer, and work may stop at some stage, which may affect the progress of business and the subsequent fines on the customer, as well as an additional cost to the customer to complete the supply of the remaining quantities. In the event that the quantity supplied exceeds the quantity required in the purchase order, the customer will request the return of the materials that exceed his needs, and this will result in an additional cost to the supplier to return the materials to the warehouses. Failure to supply the quantities required in the purchase order to the customer results in a loss of credibility with the customer that may result in the future in the customer excluding the supplier from dealing with him. The second point is the right quality. The purchase order must identify the materials in a correct and non-interpretable manner, and complete specifications must be specified for each item. Determining specifications for required items ensures that the quality standards required by the customer are met. There are 2 specifications that must be taken into consideration. The first type, when the materials are known and have specific specifications, is called conformance specification. But there is another type, which is performance specifications. In this case, the materials are not clear to the customer, and you are required to set the specifications for them. Here is the role of procurement in developing suggested alternatives for the customer, enabling him to choose the best appropriate solutions for carrying out the work. The third point is the right time. The customer must specify the delivery date in the purchase order because this results in purchasing supplying the materials at the required time. Delay in delivering materials may result in delays in work and result in fines and legal risks. The fourth point is the right place. Goods or services have to be delivered to the right place. Failure to deliver to the correct destination could result in the following: stockouts, dissatisfied customer, additional cost may be incurred. The fifth point is the right price. One of the most important tasks related to procurement is to provide the required materials at the appropriate price and in a way that does not conflict with the required specifications and quality as well. This is done by obtaining different price offers from several suppliers, making comparisons and negotiating. Now let's move to the second direction by going over what the book covers to explain this topic. L4M1, Scope of Influence of Procurement and Supply. Chapter 1. Understand and analyze the added value that can be achieved through procurement and supply chain management. 1.2. Analyze the different sources of added value in procurement and supply. Added value in a monetary and general business sense takes into account all the costs that contribute towards making the product or service. We will learn how to analyze the different sources of added value in order to achieve the most effective and efficient outcomes. 1.2.1 The 5 Rights of Procurement. 1.2 Defining Total Life Cycle Costs or Whole Life Asset Management. 1.2.3 Achieving 5 Rights of Procurement from External Suppliers. 1.2.4 Other Sources of Added Value, Innovation, Sustainability, and Market Development. 1.2.5 Defining Value for Money. 1.2.1 The 5 Rights of Procurement. The right quantity, the right quality, the right time, the right price, the right place. They should be considered when making a purchase. The right quantity. The right quantity involves ensuring that the most cost-effective amount of a product or service is procured. Where the quantity procured is wrong, the following situation could occur. Production could stop. Retail consumers' needs could be unfulfilled. Warehouses could be outstocked. The price the organization pays for the product or service could be too high. If the procurement professional of a production organization does not order enough of a product, then potentially production could stop. If a buyer works for a retail outlet and fails to order the correct quantity to meet requirement, consumer may not be able to purchase what they want. If a buyer orders too much of a product, this too could lead to problems. If a warehouse has storage for a certain volume of goods, and the buyer orders more than this, the organization would have to try to store the goods in an alternative location. This could cost the organization money. When ordering goods, the quantity needs to be evaluated in order to obtain the best price. If a buyer is tasked with purchasing 200 of a product, and the organization's warehouse has the room to store them all, it would be good practice to place one purchase order for the total amount rather than several purchase orders for smaller amount. Ordering in large volume to reduce the price is known as achieving economies of scale. The right quality. The right quality is an essential aspect of getting value for money. Quality is about a product or service meeting the needs and expectations of customers. Part of the role of a procurement professional is to define the standard of quality that is required. This can be done through the following: stating quality standard, producing a product specification, quality standard. Quality standards are used globally to ensure that products or services meet customer approval. The most common set of standards for quality is ISO 9000. ISO is the International Organization for Standardization. ISO standards promote quality in bot manufacturing and service organization. Product specification. A specification is another way for a procurement professional to ensure that the standard of quality their organization demands is met. A procurement professional will be unlikely to know all the information that is required to create a specification. Consulting with colleagues to obtain the required information is good practice. There are two types of specification. A conformance specification details exactly what the product or service will consist of. A performance specification outlines what the product or service is to do or achieve. The advantage and disadvantages of a performance and conformance specification. Performance specification can be a short document, quick to prepare, cheap, can be simple to prepare, allows suppliers to innovate, allows supplier competition. Conformance specification, usually a long document, takes time to prepare, expensive, usually difficult to prepare, does not allow supplier to innovate, limits supplier competition. If a procurement professional does not state the quality that is required, the goods or services that are supplied may be unfit for purpose or may not meet the customer's requirements. This may cost money to rectify. The right time. Procurement professionals need to ensure that orders are placed on time and delivered on time. The buyers also need to be aware of product lead times and their organization's own internal consumption rates to guarantee that the order is placed in sufficient time to ensure delivery will be at the required time. The consequences for an organization if products are not received or delivered at the right time include: O stockout. The organization may be forced to stop production, which may result on lost sales. O deliveries arriving at the wrong time. O the buying organization may have to pay a penalty. If a service is not provided at the right time, an organization may find its premises are not cleaned, production is impacted, machinery breakdown. The organization may have financial or legal exposure. The right place. Goods or services have to be delivered to the right place. Failure to deliver to the correct destination could result in the following: stockout, dissatisfied customer, additional cost may be incurred. The consequences for an organization if products are not received or delivered at the right time include: O stockout, the organization may be forced to stop production, which may result on lost sales. O deliveries arriving at the wrong time. O the buying organization may have to pay a penalties. If a service is not provided at the right place, an organization may find its premises are not cleaned, production is impacted, machinery breakdown. The organization may have financial or legal exposure. The right price. Procurement professionals have an opportunity to influence price in a number of ways: sourcing, aggregation of spend, obtaining price comparisons, negotiation. Sourcing. Sourcing is the process of ensuring the needs of your organization are satisfied by using suitable supplier. Aggregation of spend. By combining the requirements, it is possible to negotiate lower prices for the product, saving money. Obtaining price comparisons. RFQs need to be issued to suppliers if you are challenging existing contracts for price competitiveness. Care needs to be taken to ensure that prices are standardized in the same format so they can be easily compared. Some of the comparisons you need to take account of to ensure accurate comparability between prices from different suppliers. Currency. Purchasing from suppliers from different countries may offer savings against buying from local suppliers. It is good practice to ask potential suppliers to clearly state the currency used in the quotation. Net or gross price. Quotations are usually provided in a net form where the price is shown without tax, rather than gross, where the price includes tax. Negotiation. It is the buyer's responsibility to identify those areas of an offer that need further discussion. Negotiation skills are a key skill that all procurement professionals should have, and there are many styles and techniques that can be used to secure the best value during negotiations. The buyer may wish to negotiate payment terms, what is included in the price, e.g. support costs, warranty, non-recurring costs such as tooling, price revision points in a contract, discount structure, carriage costs, and insurance risk. Incoterms. Incoterms are the shipping or delivery methods under which a supplier intends to supply good to the buyer. There are a variety of options to consider, as shown. Ashraf Salah was with you. From Procurement Professional Channel, we will meet you soon to explain the CIPS L4 methodology. Thanks, and have a good day. Welcome to the Procurement Professional